anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na n'ụtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise, ise, ise.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are joining from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remain blessed. If you are joining me from Africa, Asia, Europe, America, Australia, or any part of the world, I thank you very much for your contribution. Please, each time you watch my video, go to the comment section and put down your comment. That is
Nigerian state. There are two issues that still dominate our politics. One is ethnicity, one is religion. We'll get over it, especially if we succeed in what is doing in agriculture, in what is doing in modern transportation, in roads, in electricity. Then the next government consolidates that. Then the Nigerian farmer, one day, will be in a position to decide his fate without ethnicity or religion. But we've not come to that.
So if Nigerians don't feel we are doing what we are doing is right, just like we came and removed PDP from government. If Nigerians feel that, look, we cannot continue to live under APC, they should vote us out. So if we understand in this manner, you don't call for secession, you don't call for killing, you don't call for maiming, you don't burn police stations, you don't kill your military. Wait for the elections to come. Vote for the people or the party of your choice. If APC is not doing what you want, vote us out.
We cannot continue to keep quiet. Unfortunately, Nigerians are yet to realize that in an unjust society, silence is a crime. This problem is pervasive because the people who ought to speak are not speaking. They are afraid of Buhari. Buhari is a human being. He's not an angel. He's not a prophet. He's Buhari of Daura. I have conquered fear. I'm not afraid of anyone because if you look at it, the tree of freedom, the tree of liberty will only be watered by the blood of martyrs.
Except we elect a competent government that is visionary and committed to the people, not to their stomach or to their pockets, you know, like these traditional politicians. They're not there for you and I. Politics is an industry for them. It's a business. That's why they're there. And it's all about bring out the money for this project, bring out the money for this program. We share most of it. Maybe a trickle will get to anybody. I mean, I remember once reading in the news that the president has directed the governor of the CBN. And I issued a statement, Mr. President, stop! Stop! Which investor will see this kind of thing and want to bring his money into Nigeria? He will just scratch his head and say, this is a banana republic.
Thank you so much for staying with us. My guest right here in the studio, Mohammed Yakubu, a member National Executive Committee of the Arewa Consultative Forum, ACF. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you, Ameti.
So many issues for us to weigh in on. The state of the nation, not very palatable, not what we should be proud of. The performances of our ladies in Birmingham for the Commonwealth, giving us a rays of hope and trying to restore our pride, at least internationally. But let's start this discourse with security concerns in the country. Just pick up the dailies, go through the media. Killings, expatriates also involved in Kogi, policemen killed in Imo State, foreigners also killed, newlywed couple abducted in Kansas, name it. Are we getting to an overwhelming situation? How will you speak to this against the backdrop of the responses the government has offered so far?
Thank you very much, Amiti, and good morning, Nigerians. In these days, what I used to do is that before, even in my prayers, I used to observe some moment in honor of our, if you permit me, I want to observe some moment in honor of our security agents who have been paying the supreme sacrifice to secure us, and Nigerians that have been going through this trauma. It's only when you are touched that you know what Nigerians are going through. So just give me a few moments to honor them. May their gentle soul rest in peace. There's no doubt that Nigeria is going through unavoidable security challenges and other challenges on all fronts.
Multifaceted.
Multifaceted.
And that makes it difficult.
It's not difficult if...
To respond to.
No, it's not difficult to respond to. If the government has been serious and if the government has taken early warnings seriously, with all sincerity.
That's responded to early warnings.
Responded to early warnings. This would not have been in where we are now. If you remember some few years ago when our revered general, Lieutenant General T.Y. Njuma, was shouting at the roof of what the situation looks like, it wasn't as bad as this then. And if you remember what some of our elders have been saying, and the response from the government, arrogant response from the government, has made the situation worse than it's expected to be. If the government has been responding as it is expected, listen to the message, respond to the message, not the messenger, a lot of things would have been averted. Did you hear what the 14th Emir of Kano Sanusi said yesterday? The picture he painted. And when our leaders and elders try to provide solution to the problems, you see the response, arrogant response from the government, from the presidency, the president's aides, the name calling. There was a time somebody, an elder like Professor Ango Abdullahi, tried to speak. You could see the response from the presidential aides, calling him a general without a troop. You don't call. Nigeria belongs to all of us. You don't call people, especially elders who have made sacrifice for this country, you don't call them names. This is where I blame the president too. The president should have called some of these his aides to order. I'll give you just 1 minute story of what late elder statesman Maitama Sule told us during the First Republic. There was an aide to Chief Obafemi Awolowo who disrespected the late Premier Sardauna of Sokoto. And Sardauna reported to Chief Awolowo. Awolowo, in the presence of Sardauna, called the aide and rebuked him that the next time I get this kind of report from you, I'll deal with you. That's how a leader is supposed to respond. The aides and those around the president are supposed to make friends for the president, not adversaries. Those who are speaking, who are providing solutions to the problems we have in the country are not aliens. They're Nigerians too. They're stakeholders too.
Is it that responding to the statements based on the tone it came on, or did they use a different tone?
No matter what tone the elders use, there is a way you can respond to them and make them friendly and understand what the issues are and what the government is doing about it. It's not to address them or arrogantly call them names.
So what you're saying in effect is that Nigerians have come up with suggestions on how we could deal with this
fantastic
problem,
suggestions. Fantastic. Let me give you an example. During the APC primaries, did you see the fantastic blueprints some of the aspirants presented to Nigerians? What that means to some of us is that if they have these fantastic blueprints, why didn't they give the president, who is their leader, who is the president of the APC in government? It portends two things. Either they don't want the president to succeed, or they are not being sincere with Nigerians, or the two of the above. Fantastic blueprints on how to solve every problem, every sectors of the country. Why didn't they give the president?
Has the Arewa Consultative Forum tried to provide solutions, tried to reach the president using many means, trying to offer support and suggestions?
Let me first of all tell you that Arewa Consultative Forum does not have instrumentality of government. And ACF has tried all it could to reach out to the government, present solutions to these challenges. Even in the paper, some of those people, some of those in government at the high level think that ACF has become an opposition because of its objectivity, because of its sincerity, because of its concern on these issues. What more can ACF do? ACF is not an elected part of the government. It can only advise, it can only provide solutions. It's for the government to take.
Has the group shared these positions with the rest of Nigerians? Make it clear that look at where we stand on these issues.
Yeah, on so many occasions. They are in the papers. And at times I saw, I listened to our Secretary General on air. So what more can we do? If those in authority, some of those in authority are giving us a hopeless and a helpless picture, those who have powers of coercion, instrumentality of power, are giving us that kind of picture, talk less of a group that is just a pressure group. You heard what the NSA said, that Nigerians are tired. You heard what the Senate President said, that the situation is frightening. You heard what the President said when he visited Kuje prison. What happened? He was shocked at what happened at intelligence. One would have expected the President at that time to match action.
And what happened with the intelligence? And the Deputy Speaker told us that he read 44 different intelligence leading to that attack.
What can we say more? Or what can we do more? As citizens, as pressure group, we are talking. And just about 2 or 3 days ago, I heard the President saying that Nigerians should start talking. Forgetting that when Nigerians are talking, those around him, their response is arrogant, and their response, you know, is regretful.
You spoke of the SCF being perceived as an opposition party.
Yes.
And it's not different with the Northern Elders Forum. In fact, it's even worse from that end. How is it that these pressure groups appear to be perceived wrongly, if you think so, by the government?
Well, it's only those in authority that can explain that. You know, at times when they are in government, they think when you don't speak favorably of them, you are in the opposition, no matter how objective you try to be. Northern Elders Forum is a political group. The ACF is a non-political, social, cultural organization.
Is Northern Elders Forum a political group?
Of course, it's a political, because it...
Would you say a political pressure group?
Political pressure group, that's what I mean.
Okay.
ACF is bipartisan. There are people who are APC, there are people who are PDP in it. And there are people who are AMPP, there are people, Labour Party people in it. It's multi-party facet. So when they don't speak in favor of the government thinks they are now in opposition. But I think the government approach to all these issues is not the best approach.
Are these groups non-political, non-aligned in the real sense of it? Because I read one interview granted where you were mentioning ACF should support Atiku Abubakar for the 2023 presidency.
Yeah, I stand by that. Why I said so is because Atiku, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar was instrumental to the success and to the well-being of ACF at its formative stage. He was one of the outstanding leaders that stood by ACF when ACF was formed, morally and financially. This is a payback time. Let me give you one analogy, Amici. You are a Christian. You go to church every Sunday and you pray. Why? Because our Creator, Almighty God, has promised to reward you. That is God. Almighty God that created us could have said we should worship him without any reward. We have no alternative to do that. Not to talk of worldly things. This is the time for us to pay him back for all he has done, all the good things he has done for us, and the best wishes he has wished us.
Would that not make ACF now a political aligned group?
What is the reason for creating ACF? ACF was created as a result of politics, and it was created to satisfy, to protect the interests of the North. That's its main aim. Protect the interests of the North in the national platform of Nigeria. So what is wrong with it? Didn't you hear Afenifere? Didn't you hear Oni of Ife? Didn't you hear Sonwo-Olu? What Sonwo-Olu said, that the Yorubas must vote for Emilokan Asiwaju.
That's a politician speaking.
Oni of Ife, is he a politician?
Afenifere is a cultural...
No, Oni of Ife. Oni of Ife, is he a politician? Oni of Ife is a traditional ruler.
What statement was credited?
It was credited to him that he said the Yorubas should vote for Asiwaju.
We have not seen that.
Maybe you have not seen that, but some of us have seen that.
Yeah, okay. We'll verify that.
Verify it. Some of us have seen that. And if the Oni of Ife said he didn't say that, let him come out tomorrow and debunk it.
Yes, I read one of the leaders of the leader of the Afenifere talk about not supporting Tinubu, but I think he mentioned P2B. So is it now time for the pressure groups to come out and take a stand? As you're insisting, ACF should take a stand and support Atiku Abubakar?
Of course we should take a stand. This is the time every group should bear its parents' name. Take a positive stand that will help the country. If Atiku is not the best material amongst all the presidential candidates, we won't be talking about it.
Are you speaking on your personal capacity on behalf? Is this view shared widely within ACF?
It's shared widely within ACF, and there is no group where you can get 100% views. It's widely shared.
Is it a majority view?
It's a majority view, this I can tell you.
So are they coming to town with a position on this?
Of course they will come to town with it. I've spoken I've granted an interview on The Sun, I think last week. If it's not a majority view, others, this is democracy. Others have a right to speak to. I think this is the way for us to go, because Atiku is the most prepared. I've interacted with him, like I said in the interview. I know the stuff he's made up of. And in the coming months, weeks and months, Nigeria will see original politicking.
What do you mean by that?
Original politicking is politics of ideology with humor. The kind you saw, the type you saw, Second Republic. We were in the school during the Second Republic. We ran away from the school just to come and listen to people like Awolowo, listen to people like K.O. Mbadiwe. Because their politicking was politics of ideology and humor, not politics of hatred. Politics without bitterness. That was what we saw in the Second Republic. Politics of community, not what we have now, politics of individualism.
Politics without bitterness, I think is GMPP there.
Exactly, but it was a family. When you see MPN at that time, you know what they stand for. When you see UPN at that time, you know what they stand for. That's the kind of politics we are going to see in the coming weeks and months. And by the time Atiku starts unfolding what he has for Nigerians, most Nigerians will be shocked. Of every sector, Atiku has a program with timelines for those programs, which is what is lacking up. And he's prepared that Nigerians will hold him accountable to those programs and timelines. Look at the promises APC have promised us in the last 7 years. Tell me which one have they fulfilled. You are in Nigeria, you buy fuel. Is this the amount of, how much do you buy fuel 2015 compared to what you buy fuel now? How much do you buy a bag of rice compared to what you buy rice now? How much is the dollars at 2015 compared to what you have now? Where is that promise?
As someone was saying, Atiku Abubakar lacks executive experience.
How can you say that? The first 4 years of Obasanjo Atiku's government, Atiku was in charge, while Obasanjo was traveling around the country to redeem our image and ensure that we are debt-free. And he succeeded in redeeming our image and ensure that we are debt-free. Atiku was at home. That was when Atiku was at home and groomed people like Okonjo-Iweala, Soludo, El-Rufai, and co. That was when he brought them up. He has the capacity to mobilize the best brains across the world. Look at where most of these people are now. Okonjo-Iweala is the DG World Trade Organization now. She started from somewhere. Somebody brought her up.
Was it the Obasanjo or the Atiku thing that?
It was a joint ticket. If Obasanjo did not believe in Atiku at that time, he wouldn't hand over the country to him and be moving around the world, trying to booster our image and ensure that we are debtless.
But the former president has also recently made statements suggesting that perhaps it was an error to have settled for Atiku.
You can't rule out some of these things from Obasanjo. I don't want to talk. He's an elder statesman that I respect very well. No matter what, we're trained from my family and my culture and my tribe, we're trained to respect elders. I wouldn't want to delve into that. Let me give you an instance of one interview when Obasanjo was president. Former President Babangida was coming from, he traveled out of the country then. He was coming back. At the airport, journalists accosted him and said, look, these are the derogatory and uncomplimentary remarks made by President Obasanjo against you. You know what he told the journalists? He told them that President Obasanjo is my senior, and I don't.
I remember.
You remember exactly. Issues. I don't join issues with that.
I think it's more of a military tradition.
Not a military tradition. It's our culture.
Okay.
It's our tradition. That's how we are brought up. If this government has imbibed that kind of tradition, a lot of this problem would have been solved by not allowing some of the president's aide to come out and talk, derogatorily against some of our leaders. No matter what, no matter how angry some of our leaders are, it is the duty of the aides to bring them close to the president and tell them what the government is doing to assuage some of those angers of the president, some of those angers of those leaders. Look at the time T.Y. spoke. Look at how they responded. T.Y. is a refined and well-respected general across the globe. He doesn't flip. He doesn't talk anyhow. Once he talks, you look at what he said. Just like the BBC documentary and Trust TV documentary that the government is angry about, they don't need to be angry about it. You can use all these negativities to your advantage.
In what ways?
Bring those issues to the table. Discuss them, provide solutions to them. That's why you are in government. It's because the PDP has failed in 2015. That's why you are elected. To come and solve this problem, not to come and be outsourcing those problems or come and be giving us excuses. Almost 8 years. Did you ever hear in advanced country or in America where a president comes in and starts talking of the issues he inherited? You are elected to come and deal with those issues you inherited. Tell us how you are going to deal with them. And in this case, they even promise us that they are going to deal with the issues. Now, tell me how far. Give me their scorecard. You are a Nigerian too. This is a conversation for all Nigerians. Give me their scorecard. We are all Nigerians. The country belongs to all of us. And we have a right to hold those in authority accountable. It's because they have that right to hold those in authorities accountable. That is why in 2015, Nigerians changed those in power then to bring them in. So why would they now be in power and think that they are emperors? We can't hold them accountable. Why?
Okay, we'll go on a break. When we come back, more issues, perhaps.
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you, and remain blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.